Hello class, Aldo here again. In this video we're going to continue exploring lights. I already hid my previous lights. I have my scene here. Let's go ahead and create an area light. Let's go to the option box. I have my intensity, my color. Do I want it to cast shadows? Sure, let's tell it to cast shadows and create. With this tool, let's go ahead and press 7 on my keyboard. With this one, we get this cool little icon here. And if we look at this, an area light, it is similar to working with light that is being emitted from a shape. In this case, it's a rectangle in a certain direction. Imagine like light coming from your display or a cell phone or a light panel. You see this light, this line? That is the direction that the light is coming out from. Let's go ahead and just put this here and let's go ahead and render it to see what it looks like. And I'm still using Maya software with ray tracing turned on, so it looks something like this. Let's go ahead and change some of the settings. And I'm going to close this window with my area light selected. Under light effects, under shadows. Right now, depth map shadows is turned on. Let's turn this off and let's render it again to see what it looks like without that option turned on. You can see how it's lining the area, but it's not creating any shadows. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to ray trace shadows and turn this on. And now let's turn this one on to see what we get. Ooh, look at these shadows right here. These are really gritty. Let's see if we could work with them. I want to go into my render settings and just to double check. I haven't changed anything. Let's drop the bias and see what that does. So it's still giving us. Well, I think it got worse. So I want to go back into my render settings. The bias, I'm going to go ahead and increase this to about zero point 0.3. I'm just going to select this one area to do a render region. All right, we got that. That looks a little bit better. So I'm going to close this window. Let's see, ray shadows. What happens if we increase this? Okay, this looks better, the ray shadows. Let's go ahead and re-render everything. So that looks a little bit better. And with this one of the things to consider is that we have the intensity. The intensity is how bright the slide is, but also keep in consideration the size. For example, if you have a small cell phone that you're using, uh, that cell phone is just a couple of inches wide. Compare the light that a computer monitor, which is a lot larger, compared to your cell phone. And it's equivalent to, say for example, let me go ahead and use my scale tool. Say this is the size of my phone. If I render this out, the area that it's creating light from, it's smaller. Now, if I was now to scale this up to be really large and render it out, you can see that because it's a larger area, though the intensity is still set to 1, it is able to produce a lot more light simply because of its shape, of how large the shape is. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this around so that it's now pointing downwards. You can see right here it's really bright, and maybe that's not how bright I want it to be. So what I could do, maybe I do want it to be that large, but maybe not that bright. So this is where I could start to decrease the intensity. Let's go about halfway and let's re-render. You can see it's going down of how bright it is. And also I should mention, since the decay rate, let's go ahead and bring it back. I'm going to undo. If I change the decay rate, that also is going to change what it looks like. Let me just select half of this so we could do a side-by-side comparison. So over here on the left was no decay. Over here we have linear decay. If I continue to select just an area, quadratic decay, and then if I change this to cubic, it even, here I'm just going to go select this area, it's going to be an even quicker decay. It's really grainy. So here, I'm going to leave this at linear. Let's go ahead and render this out. So we get something that looks like this. So this is working with the area light. Let's go ahead and I'm going to stop this video so that in the next video we could go over the volume light. I'll see you then.